Welcome, past students of Ohr Somayach, present students of Ohr Somayach. We're on this journey from Pesach until Shavuot. And the transition between Pesach and Shavuot is highlighted symbolically by the offerings we brought on the respective holidays. On Passover, the day after Passover, in fact, we brought the Omer offering, which is made of barley. And on Shavuot, we bring an offering called the Shtei Alechem, which is 2 loaves of bread. Symbolically, we know that an Omer offering, which is barley, is animal fodder. Animals eat barley, and it represents the nature of the Jewish people, their status when we left Egypt, sort of bound by the constrictions of Egypt, which is called Mitzrayim, which means boundaries, and to be tight, to be locked in. So we were sort of locked into our physical nature on Passover when we left Egypt. When we got to Shavuot, after the 49 days in the desert, we reached the pinnacle of human success, where we refined ourselves to the point that we could bring 2 loaves of bread, which represent a certain perfection, a certain completion of human nature. But something else happened to us. There's a fundamental change at the giving of the Torah itself. And it's expressed in the 3 words that God says when He gave us the Torah. Anoichi Hashem Elokecha. Now there's an enigmatic medrash that tells us something astounding. The word Anoichi, from Anoichi Hashem Elokecha, is actually an Egyptian word. That's kind of staggering to think that the Jewish people were slaves in Egypt for 210 years, and Pharaoh chased us, and God made miracles, and He took us out. And yet the first words God says to us, hello, in Egyptian. I would say, excuse me, it's a little bit scary. I have post-traumatic stress. I'm like, let's not go there. But God did go there. And He said, Anoichi Hashem Elokecha. On the other hand, paradoxically, it tells us in the Talmud and in the Medrash that the word Anoichi is actually the Rosh Tevos, an acronym for the following 4 words. It starts with the first letters of the Anoichi. Aleph, Ana, Nun, Nafshi, Chaf, Chasvis, Yud, Yahavis. I myself gave the written and oral Torah. The word Anoichi stands for those words. I, God, myself, my essence, gave you the Torah, the written Torah, and the oral Torah. So how do we understand this paradox? On the one hand, Anoichi is an Egyptian way of saying hello. On the other hand, it means I, God, gave you the Torah myself. To understand this tells us about our mission in life, my friends. Anoichi Hashem Elokecha is 3 different ways we serve God. Let's start backwards. Elokecha is the word Elokim. Elokim, as we know, is the same numerical value as the word Hateva. You look around the world, you look at the earth, you look at botany, you look at animals. Everything you see is a lavush, is a garment where God dresses up His spirituality, so to speak, His energy that He puts into the world, and He's there. You just don't see it, perhaps. That's Elokim, dressed up in the world. Next, you have, backwards 1 step, is Hashem, which is Havaya, which stands for Hu Hoya Hoive Veyihi. God is, was, and always will be. God is eternal. He is transcendent. He is immanent. He's everywhere, and yet you don't see Him. That's the paradox of that name of God. But He is, so to speak, above nature. So here we have in nature, above nature, and then the word Anoichi. Anoichi means I in Egyptian. But what is Egyptian? It's Mitzri, the same as Mitzrayim, as boundaries. God says, I gave you the Torah. You now have the ability, Jewish people, to connect the physical world to the spiritual world. But how do you get to those very low places, the everyday human experiences, the eating, the drinking, the mundane? How do you bring me into the picture? You have to bring my essence into the very low places. The Mitzrayim, the constrictions, the boundaries, your everyday struggles, cravings, addictions, whatever they are, bring me into the picture because I am there. That's what it means, Anoichi Hashem Elokecha. I, myself, my very essence, I am the one that help you connect heaven and earth. B'chol derechecha da'eu. In all of your ways, you have to know God, King Solomon says in Proverbs. What does it mean to know God? It means to make a connection with Him. Like it says by Adam, Adam yoda es chava, Adam knew chava. He had an intimate relationship, a connection with on a very deep, profound level. God says, I want you to have the same relationship with me in every moment of your lives. That's what it means, Anoichi Hashem Elokecha. And how do you do that? It's through the medium of the Torah. The Torah, which is God's essence, so to speak, is the way you connect the mundane to the above nature. The words that we said before, Anoichi, Ana, Nafshi, Kasvis, Yahavis, I gave you the written oral Torah, can also be understood in the following way. I, my essence, I am in the written and oral Torah, because the Torah is the will of God. And God's will is intrinsically bound up with His oneness, and that is what He gave to us to bring to every place of our existence, of our world, of all the material being. And that is what we must do on Shavuot. Elevate ourselves to hear the call of God that's beckoning us to have the relationship with Him. My friends, this is the journey from Pesach until Shavuos, the transition from going out of Egypt until reaching above into the experience at Mount Sinai. And this is what we have learned perhaps from Ohr Somayach, to take the Torah to transcend our lives. What is the difference practically between the words Pesach and Shavuos? Well, let me tell you numerically. Pesach, the numerical value is 148. Shavuos is 784. The difference between the two, how do you bridge the gap between the barley offering, which represents these physical, connected to this world, and the spiritual, the shtei alechem, the 2 loaves of bread? How do you connect the two, make a transition, make a bridge? It's 636, the difference between Pesach and Shavuos. My friends, if you take Ohr Somayach, which is 555, and you add the word Anoichi, which is 81, it also equals 636. When you hear the call of God beckoning you to connect this world to Him, and you do it through what you have taken from Ohr Somayach, you're learning, you're davening, you're learning to do good deeds, and connecting God in every moment of your life, this is the true receiving of the Torah. May it be God's will that we connect to Him, that we hear the thunder and the lightning, and we feel that connection when God says on Shavuos, Anoichi Hashem Elokecha, and we all receive the Torah and come closer to Him. Good Yom Tov.